Asalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Welcome back to my channel. I pray that you are all in the best of health and iman. If you are new, welcome. My name is Nafisa. I make Islam and lifestyle videos. So if you're interested in that kind of content, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and join our family. So guys, I know I have been MIA for a few days, over a week now. And I thought it would be a great idea to come back and make a video letting you guys know how my Ramadan went. You know, did I achieve my goals? What things went well for me? What things didn't? What things did I have to adapt? What difficulties did I face? All of that kind of stuff. In hope that inshallah you guys will see that everyone struggles with something, but you know, there are ways to overcome your struggles. Anyways, I hope you guys will enjoy this video. I have here my ginger tea. It is one of those days, it's the day after Ramadan, the day after Eid that I'm filming this video. So I'm feeling quite chilled out and quite zen. I think I'm gonna have like a self-care day today. So yeah, feeling chilled. So yeah, hopefully you join me, and without further ado, let's begin. Okay, first and foremost, let's give credit where credit is due, right? I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for seriously helping me this Ramadan, because one major thing that I noticed this Ramadan was that I wasn't really hungry. I didn't really feel hunger like that. Thirst, yes, especially on hot days, I felt like thirsty, but hungry, I didn't really feel hungry. And I don't know if it has something to do with my diet, the fact that for most of the time for my suhoor, I was either having oats or I was having my chia seed puddings. And I think that might have something to do with it, because I'm not gonna lie guys, in the past I'm known to like have like rice in the morning for suhoor, and that be having me like crushing, like literally I'll be full once I've eaten the rice, and by the time I've woken up in the morning I'll be hungry again. But this Ramadan I just seemed to have like a slow steady release of energy, and I wasn't like starving like crazy hungry, nothing like that. I start to feel more hungry as I got towards the end of Ramadan, but for the most part I barely felt hungry. So alhamdulillah, that was definitely something that went very well for me during this Ramadan. Now in terms of my goals, like did I achieve my goals, did I not achieve my goals? I achieved my goals, but I had to adapt it as I went along. And I realized that I wanted new things once I was already in the month of Ramadan. So what I meant by that was that for the most part, alhamdulillah, I was able to achieve most of my goals, right? But I realized that the goals that I stuck to the most were the ones that were small, but that I had to do often. Say for example Taraweeh, I only probably missed a couple of days of Taraweeh. One, I wasn't well, so I couldn't go. And the other 2 or 3 days, I think I probably overslept because I was just that exhausted, and by the time I'd woken up it was already too late. So I just prayed my Taraweeh at home, and I didn't actually go to the masjid to perform Taraweeh. But yes, the targets and the goals that I stuck to were the ones that are small, but that I did most often. So say for example, the thing with Taraweeh was, some days as you get like, you know, they say the shaitan is locked up, but it's only really the major shaitan that's locked up here, because he still has associates that are working for him. Anyways, so you get like these whispers in your ears that, oh, I'm so tired, maybe I shouldn't go today, blah blah blah. And I would just counterbalance that by just saying to myself, look Nafisa, you only got to go and perform 4 rakats, because that was the minimum that I set for myself, that every day that I was praying for, I was going to try to go to the masjid and perform Taraweeh and pray at least 4 rakats. So on the days when I was starting to have those whispers and starting to feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go, I would literally just say to myself, just 4 rakats. Go to the masjid, pray Isha, pray your 4 rakats and come home. And then I would go, and then I'll start enjoying the salah, and I might end up staying a little bit longer. But some days I literally just prayed those 4 rakats and I came back home. And with that I was able to maintain it, because it wasn't something like that felt overwhelming to me. If you are someone that were able to achieve, like that set a goal for yourself to be able to achieve praying all of the, you know, Taraweeh rakats, and you were able to do that, then that is perfect. But for me, I just found like having small goals that I could easily meet were like the things that I definitely stuck to, and those worked best for me. Another thing that I found interesting was that for the first time, because in most of my work life I haven't really had like a holiday that has, you know, matched with the time of Ramadan. Usually I'm always working during the month of Ramadan, but this year we had 1 week break from school, and so we had that half term in, and I was home during that half term, during that 1 week break. What I found interestingly was that the more time I had to myself, the less productive I was. And I think this may have been like a mental thing, where sometimes if mentally you know that you don't have a lot of time, you make the most of the time that you do have. So my usual routine is like, you know, I've set goals for myself, and I know that if I'm at work, my lunch times, I'm going to read Quran. I go straight from, as soon as my lunch break comes in, I go into the bathroom, I make wudu, then I come back into, you know, my little quiet room that I have where I pray at work, and I sit there and I read the Quran. So that way I can fit in at least a good 20 minutes of Quran reading. Now when I'm at home, I find myself procrastinating because I know that I'm at home and I have time. So it'd be like, oh, you know, I can read Quran later, I've still got time, still got most of the day left, I can read it later. And before you know it, time has just flown past and you haven't done that particular thing that you said you were going to do. Or before you know it, now you have to do this and now you have to do that, and that time has just gone past. So this holiday that I had, that was meant to be like more time for me to do more things, I found myself procrastinating, and I had to fight it so much more in comparison to when I was, you know, going to work and I didn't have much time. So sometimes I think having too much time in your hands is actually not a good thing. And I know a lot of us, especially those of us who work, we tend to complain that we don't have enough time to actually give to ibadah because we have work, or maybe those of you at school, you have school, and those of you doing exams, you've got other responsibilities. But I've just come to learn that sometimes that in and of itself is a blessing, because it then makes you make the most of the time that you actually do have. Because when you do have a lot of time, sometimes Shaitan tries to play games with your mind, and then before you know it, you're procrastinating. So that was an interesting lesson for me to have learnt. Another thing that I struggled with, that I think most people struggle with anyway, is of course Ramadan starts and you're kind of like on a high up here, like you're so excited, you're just buzzing, you're raring to go, and then you get to about between day, I don't know, anything from like day 12 to day 20, and you just kind of feel a little bit like you kind of lost a little bit of the motivation, or the excitement, should I say. It's kind of gone down a little bit, and now you're just finding yourself in this like mediocre stage, and you're just kind of like, yeah, you know, and then the end comes and then you go right back up again, because you know it's the last 10 days and all of that. So I did find myself in that middle part, just kind of feeling like, yeah, not as excited or not as motivated as I was at the beginning and at the end. And I think that's natural, because a lot of people worry, because, you know, it's even the same thing with like Iman. They always say like your Iman goes up and down. It's never steady. It's never at a like constant. It's either going up or it's going down. It's always moving all the time. And human beings, we're like that. You're never fully like engrossed in any kind of like activity in that hyper stage all of the time. You're gonna somehow come to a certain level, you know, and I kind of felt like that happened during Ramadan for me as well. But like I said, setting my goals were like one of the best things I could have done for myself, and writing my goals down, because again, once you get yourself into a routine, even if you're not feeling that, oh my gosh, like excited the way you were at the beginning, because you've set a routine for yourself and you just going through, even if you're just going through the motions of it, at least you're maintaining that. So it's something that you constantly do every day at a particular time. And so it keeps you moving, even if you're not feeling all that as hyped as you were about it in the beginning. So yeah, I just kept myself moving. I kept myself trying to stick to my routine. It definitely helped going back to work. It helps me get back into my routine, because when I started fasting, I was going to work. So I had got myself into that schedule. But then probably like a week or so into fasting, into the month of Ramadan, I had that break, and it just kind of messed up with my schedule, and then I had to reschedule myself, being at home, having so much time, and now thinking, okay, usually at work at 12:30 I would be reading Quran, so now I need to be reading Quran at this time, or do I spread it across? It was just weird, guys. It was just weird. For some reason, having that break just, it didn't do well for me. I guess I didn't plan for it. I didn't plan for what I would do during that week that I had time off. And maybe that's what threw me. So maybe inshallah next time that's something that I need to look into. Like if my schedule is going to change like that, then I need to like have some kind of a plan or a routine for myself. an idea of how I want to spend that time, because I'm literally one of those people. If I don't have a plan for myself and how I'm gonna cope with something, and I know life throws things that, you know, throws things at you and you can't always plan for everything, but having some kind of an idea of what I would do in terms of scheduling my time, it really helps me stay on top of things. So if I don't plan for how to use my time, I just end up wasting my time. But alhamdulillah, like I said, with the help of my routine, I was able to like maintain doing a lot of the things that I said I would do, and alhamdulillah, I was able to meet most of my goals. Now, one of the goals that I didn't meet to the level that I wanted to meet it was the 99 Names of Allah Ramadan challenge. I didn't manage to memorize all of the names. I really struggled with that, guys, but I kept pushing myself, and that was a lesson that I really learnt that I thought I would share with you guys. I'm sure there may have been a goal or some goals that you set for yourself that you weren't able to completely meet, but the most important thing is that you don't give up. So I think I wasn't able to memorize all of the 99 names of Allah, but I did make a good effort in memorizing most of it. So even though I didn't achieve that particular goal, the fact that I didn't give up, I was actually really proud of myself. And so yeah, that was another thing that I struggled with, but I insisted that I wasn't going to give up. And that's the thing, like, you have to insist and make it a point of, make a decision for yourself that even if I struggle with this thing, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to give up. And I think no matter what you do, even if it's small, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala definitely appreciates it, as long as you don't give up, because shaitan will try all kind of avenues to try and make you avoid doing those deeds, those good deeds that are going to gain you the rewards. He's going to try to come at you from whatever kind of attack, whatever level he can come, he's going to try and come at you, you know, with it. But again, it's up to you to choose to give up or to choose to continue, even if you don't achieve everything that you want to, but you don't completely fail either. So I didn't give up and I carried on with that, and alhamdulillah, I managed to memorize quite a lot of those names. So yeah, another really interesting thing that I went through, guys, was that I felt like I was missing my one-on-one connection time with Allah. So before like having a channel and all of that responsibility came along, like Ramadan will be the time where I spent more time like making dua after every salah and praying extra rakats and things like that. And I felt like because I had the extra responsibility of making videos, it kind of took away the time that I had to be able to do as much as I used to during the month of Ramadan in terms of my one-on-one connection with Allah. Because of course my channel, I'm hoping Allah accepts it from me, and it is in and of itself like a means of gaining Allah's reward and gaining Allah's love and everything. And I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts it from me as a sadaqah jariyah. But like I said, I was missing Allah. Let's just keep it real. I was missing Allah, and I felt like I was missing that one-on-one connection time. So that was why I went sort of like MIA, and I kind of cut myself off social media. And that was why I didn't continue to do the daily series that I was planning to do. Like, I had so many video ideas that I was planning to do, guys. But I came to a realization of like, if it was kind of like a tank that I needed to be like refilled again. And I felt like if I wasn't filled in that area, like there's no way I could possibly be able to help anybody else. And my helping you is also helping myself at the same time as well. And I just needed Allah, guys. I hope that makes sense. I just felt like I needed Allah. I felt like I missed him. I felt like I missed my one-to-one connection with him. And Ramadan was like the best time for me to, you know, renew that again. So that was why I stopped making videos, and that was why I didn't continue making the daily series videos. And you know what, I felt like it was a good, you know, decision. And yeah, I enjoyed my spare time doing the extra deeds, and I was able to like fulfill other deeds that I do that I don't want to talk about, don't want to share on social media, just between me and my Lord. I was able to fulfill and achieve other things as well. So, you know, alhamdulillah for that. But you know, inshallah, this channel will last a long enough time for me to be able to share with all of you the goodness that I plan to share, and all the videos that I had in mind, inshallah next Ramadan I'll be able to make those videos and continue to help and support you guys. But you know, my friend came to visit me yesterday on Eid, and I was saying to her, you know, sometimes the helper needs help as well. So I had to just go and get my tank filled up by my Lord. So I needed that time off, and alhamdulillah, it was a good decision, because I just feel so much more at ease now. I feel so much more better now, and I felt like I came out of Ramadan feeling like, okay, these are the things that I was able to achieve in the month of Ramadan. This is what I would like to continue to do for the rest of my life, because I feel like that's what Ramadan is all about. Like you should be able to go through the month of Ramadan realizing that, you know what, I can actually do this act of good deed, or I can actually achieve this thing. How can I now incorporate it into my everyday life and make it something that's now permanently part of my life? Because a sign of an accepted Ramadan is that the deeds that you were doing in Ramadan, or at least some deeds that you did in Ramadan, you continuously do it for the rest of your life as well. You know, something that is continuous. It's not just like a whole set of deeds that you only do in Ramadan and then you ignore it after that. It's meant to be continuous. So I have made my own reflections, and I have chosen a particular deed that inshallah I'm going to begin to incorporate for the rest of my life. May Allah help me from now on. So think about how your Ramadan went for you. Think about what is that one good deed that you think that you can continue, that you were able to do in Ramadan, or that you did in Ramadan and you want to continue doing from now on. You might have to scale it down. So say for example you went for Taraweeh and you pray all of the, you know, rakahs in Taraweeh. If in reality, that's, for most people, that's unsustainable. You can't be doing that for the rest of your life. Let's just be honest. You can be ambitious about it, but the reality is it probably won't happen, right? So you might have to scale it down to maybe praying 2 rakats, waking up 15 minutes every day before Fajr and praying 2 extra rakats. So that way you're maintaining that tahajjud, right? Performing that tahajjud. It may not be the scale that it was in Ramadan, but however, it's something that you've now incorporated into your life. So it's meant to, Ramadan is meant to have. Okay, so do I feel like my Ramadan could have gone better? Of course. I don't think there's ever been any year where I felt like, oh no, this year completely aced it, it couldn't have been any better. Like every year there's always something that I look at and I say to myself, you know, I think I could have done that better. I felt this should have gone better. I can improve on this, that and that. I'm always learning, and I think that for most people that's what it should be. Reflecting on Ramadan should literally just be you learning what worked for you, what didn't work for you, and also noticing that can change, because every year you're at a different stage in your life, because I believe that life comes in stages and you're always at a different stage in your life. So you might have had some reflections now, but by the time the next Ramadan comes in next year, inshallah, may Allah help us all to witness it and complete it, Ameen. By the time that comes around, you might be at a different stage in your life. So you're going to have new goals that you'll be able to set that would make more sense for that particular stage in your life, and how you're going to, you know, incorporate that stage in your life and Ramadan and bring the two together and make a successful Ramadan for yourself. So yes, I definitely think I could have done better, and inshallah I've already got ideas of how I hope my next Ramadan will be. Do I feel like I set my expectations too high? No, I don't think that I set my expectations too high for this Ramadan. No, I don't. I just feel like maybe I didn't have enough willpower to completely achieve my goals, but I felt like the goals that I set for myself were realistic and I could have achieved them to a much greater level. But nonetheless, having said that, I am still happy with how it came out. It's just that, like I said, there's no such thing as a perfect Ramadan. It can always be better. Okay, so what next? Well, next is basically I have about how many days debt? I think I have about 8 days debt to pay back, obviously because of the time of the month. So I have that, and also fasting the 6 days after Ramadan. So for those who don't know, there is a hadith, an authentic hadith, that states that whoever fasts the month of Ramadan and follows it by 6 days of Shawwal, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive them all of their sins. So I want to be able to fast those 6 days. Now the dilemma, that's really not an issue, but I always seem to in my head make it more of an issue than it actually is I keep like contemplating which one I should do first. Should I pay back my debt that I owe first, or should I fast the 6 days first? Like, which one should I do first? And usually last year I did the 6 days first, and then I ended up procrastinating paying back my debt, and I left it really late paying back my debt. And I don't want to do that again this year, just because a debt is something you owe to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and like I always say, no one knows when their time in this world is going to come to an end, and I don't want to die knowing that I owe Allah that. So I think I'm gonna make, and I really don't want to have that hanging on my neck in my grave. So I'm gonna do myself a favor, pay back the 8 days that I owe as my debt, and then towards the end of the month I will do the 6 days of Shawwal. So obviously today's the day after Eid. I'm not fasting today, and I think I'm gonna give myself like maybe 2 or 3 more days just to, you know, eat and get my energy levels back up again. And then I'm gonna begin to pay back my debt, and I'm not gonna leave it late this year. So I'll pay back my debt just what, 1 day over a week. I'm gonna do that, and then maybe in the 2nd or 3rd week of the month of Shawwal, which is the new month that we are in, I'm going to fast the 6 days of Shawwal, inshallah. So that is what is next on the table for me. And also just making sure that I remember or remind myself to always make dua and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept my Ramadan, because in as much as, you know, we've all tried and things like that, we can't take it for granted that it has been accepted, because the bottom line is we don't know. We have a good expectation of Allah, we hope that Allah has accepted our dua, we have our Ramadan, and we have a good feeling about it, but no one just knows for sure. We don't know for sure, we don't know as a guarantee. So we always have to make dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our Ramadan, as the Sahabas did. You know, they would spend like half of the year making dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept the Ramadan that has passed, and the following half of the year before the next Ramadan they will spend making dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help them, you know, witness the next Ramadan. So that's something that we should definitely be doing, and that's something that I want to, you know, have at the forefront of my mind, to be making dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept my Ramadan, and trying to maintain some of those good deeds that I did during the month of Ramadan, trying to maintain it for the rest of my life basically. So inshallah, if we try to make that like what we do every Ramadan, then essentially we just get better and better as people. You know, as a person you get better and better, because every year that goes by there's some good thing that you add into your life that's becoming a permanent part of your life. So literally, if let's say from the age of 18 or from the age of 20 to the age of 40 you've had a good 20 years in between, that's 20 extra good things that you've added into your life. So you're building and becoming a better person, and it doesn't have to be like a direct act of like good deed, like extra prayers or whatever. It could just be like, okay, in Ramadan I wasn't swearing, so now I'm just gonna cut out swearing from my language, and I'm not gonna do it anymore. Or in Ramadan I started wearing hijab, so now I'm just gonna maintain it and I'm gonna keep it going, you know. So it's whatever good thing you choose for yourself to add to the rest of your life from now on, right? So I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts all of our efforts in the month of Ramadan, and I hope that this video has kind of, you know, giving you a little bit of an insight to how my Ramadan went with all of my preparation and everything. As I said, you know, no one is perfect, and we all still have our ups and downs, we all still go through struggles and whatnot, and like I said, nobody is perfect. I don't want you guys looking at me like, oh my god, Nafisa, mashallah, you're so pious, you get it all right. I don't. I struggle like you all do. You know, I have my good days and my not so good days, and you know, it's just that I've come to know myself quite well. I know I come across very young and my face looks very young, but guys, I'm older than a lot of the YouTubers that you watch, right? Because I'm in my late 20s, so I've gotten to a stage of my life where I feel like I have my focus now. So if I seem a little bit more focused, that is probably to do with the fact that I haven't aged. I won't say I've aged, but I haven't like aged. I'm not old. But I've gone through experiences, has taught me a lot. So I'm at a stage in my life where I'm a little bit more focused. So it might come across that I have it all figured out all together, but I don't, and I'm still learning as I go along. And so that's why I felt it was really important for me to come and do this Ramadan review, just to show you that it wasn't all perfect for me. I had my ups and downs, but I chose to continue to try, even if it means achieving less than what I initially intended to. So I hope that that inspires you guys. Anyhow, that is my Ramadan review. I pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts all of our efforts during that month of Ramadan, and that he helps us to continue to maintain the goodness that we were doing in the month of Ramadan. And guys, do not give shaitan a welcome back party, okay? Please don't drop all your good deeds you were doing in the month of Ramadan and try to just come back to your bad deeds again. Please don't give shaitan a welcome back party. He doesn't deserve it. He does not deserve it, okay? Stick to your good character, your good deeds, your humbleness. You're avoiding getting into arguments and all of that. Trying your best to stick to that from now on. Anyways, guys, jazakallah khair, guys, for watching. Inshallah ta'ala, I will see you guys in my next video, where I'm going to announce the winners of my 99 Names of Allah Ramadan challenge. So I look forward to that, inshallah ta'ala. I will see you all soon. Assalamualaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.